Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So welcome to another market open stream. I'm a little late because there's so much news, so much dots being connected this morning. Wow, there's a lot. If you thought that I covered everything already the last few days, get ready for today's stream because there's so much about SBF's supposed mansion and what happens in the mansion and all this stuff. Whew. Plus, they just declared bankruptcy. So let's talk about it, and let's talk about everything else that was discovered today. So minutes ago, roughly 20 minutes ago, this was just released. Remember how SBF's been trying to find saviors? They needed to patch up $10 billion, right? It looks like no one is coming to the rescue, so they officially declared bankruptcy, okay? So obviously not good. And also, SBF resigns as CEO. I don't know if that really means anything at this point, but yes, SBF is no longer CEO, so I don't know who's the CEO at this time, but it doesn't really matter. And two, they have officially declared bankruptcy or filed for bankruptcy, right? So that just broke. So as for Tron or anyone else that was supposedly going to save them, not going to happen. Here's also a thing, connecting the dots here. This John Ray III has been appointed now, the CEO, and he's going to be the one that's basically going to be looking at all the books and everything, right? Because people want an outsider. Make sure that all the corruption and stuff gets revealed. But who is this guy? John Ray III. Well, he happens to be the guy that looked at Enron's fall, Enron's bankruptcy, and discovered all the shenanigans that Enron was doing, right? He's the same guy. He's the same guy. So you bet your ass that he's going to be looking at everything with a fine-tuned comb and discovering all the things that may not have been revealed yet. And also what's interesting about this is, look at it, approximately 130 additional affiliated companies. 130? How many? How many companies do we not know of that's affiliated with FTX and Alameda Research? 130 additional companies. Wow, I don't know if they're including the VCs and maybe some of the DeFi projects, right? But if not, and we're talking about, exchanges or other I don't know, businesses out there, right? They're all going to be wrecked from this. So that's the latest news. SBF is no longer CEO. Someone else has been, and they're going to look at everything, okay? But that's not all. That's not all. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's just so much to uncover. Some of the stuff I don't even want to cover because it's just so damning. I don't even know what to think of it. Okay, as for how much they're holding in their wallet, it has dropped down significantly, obviously. Their FTT holding is now worth about 100 million, obviously dropped significantly since FTT token have dropped significantly. But as for everything else in their ERC20 wallet, or ERC wallet, I should say, just a whole lot of smaller stuff, stable coins, and then you see synthetic ETH, right? And then a few other stuff, but it really dwindled down within the last few days. So obviously not in terms of what they're holding, is basically a fraction of what they used to have. That SBF bill, right, about basically about regulating the U.S. exchanges. There are still some senators that are advancing it or trying to advance it. Don't know how much it has been advanced, but the bill is all about regulating the industry, specifically exchanges and DeFi and a whole bunch of other stuff, right? A lot of people didn't like this, didn't like how SBF pushed it. But despite him now falling from the top, it seems like some of these senators and Congress people are still pushing it through. So we'll see where that goes. Okay. Now, remember his net worth? Remember he had the biggest drop in a single day in terms of billionaires? Well, Bloomberg just remarked his net worth from 1 billion to 0. So it went from 16 to 1, and now it went from 1 to 0. So, and plus he's probably facing jail time at this point, so it doesn't matter if he's a billionaire. So what did he do wrong exactly? A lot of you guys may still be wondering, well, maybe he's just an idiot. What did he do wrong exactly? Well, this is what he did wrong. FTX had about 16 billion in customer assets, right? A lot of times these exchanges say, oh, we have so many billions here or there, right? Keep in mind, the billions are customer assets. It's crypto that people have, they bought, and they left it there for storage. So it's not really theirs. But 16 billion, more than half, 10 billion, this is why he needed 10 billion, because he took 10 billion and gave it to Alameda Research. Okay, Alameda Research, even though he's the CEO of both, he had other people running Alameda Research. I think that was the problem. Or maybe he co-ran it with the other person. Who knows what was really going on behind the scenes. But he took 10 billion of the 16 billion customer assets and loaned it to Alameda Research. And that is a no-no, first of all. And second of all, Alameda just blew it all away. And I wish more people, including myself, saw this clip beforehand. Because Alameda Research supposedly had two leaders, one left, and you're left with Caroline. And Caroline is the one who famously told Binance and CZ, if you want to sell your FTT tokens, we'll buy it all at $22. So, that was a bad decision. But someone else found this clip. So I'm just going to play it for you guys. So this is the clip that I wish we all watch prior, because it kind of shows you the competency of the person running Alameda Research. So let me play this real quick.
Absolutely could pull it off without my math degree. Use very little math. Use a lot of elementary school math. Being comfortable with risk is very important. We tend not to have things like stop losses. I think those aren't necessarily a great risk management tool. I'm trying to think of a good example of a trade where I've lost a ton of money. Well, I don't know. I probably don't want to go into specifics too much with that.
All right. So I think if more people saw that ahead of time, maybe we would have taken I don't know, maybe we would have got a pre-warning of what's to come, I guess, right? But when you give someone like that $10 billion, okay, this is what happens. This is what happens. We can only laugh at that. It's not funny that people lost $10 billion, but still, this is, yeah, let's just leave it at that. All right, moving on. Also, it's been reported and confirmed now that even though, Sam, he puts on this image, like he drives a Corolla, his shoes are falling apart, he looks like a homeless person, right? Like, how can a billionaire, and he was, man, I can't even talk this morning. He was the youngest billionaire on earth, being less than 30 years old at one time before he reached a billionaire status, right? Seemed like he was a very down-to-earth guy. Seemed like he didn't spend money at all. But it turns out that he has been spending his days in one of the most expensive mansions on earth. A $35 million mansion in the Bahamas. And here's just, you know, a few pictures of the views. Quite nice. Quite nice for, of course, a $35 million mansion. But that's not all. Look at how many rooms he has. Okay? And it's also been confirmed, right? He had his closest roommates live here, and they were the ones running FTX. So there was about 10 guys that the employees have verified. They're basically roommates and buddies of Sam. And they all stayed here in this $35 million mansion, and they ran things. And employees basically said they don't know what the hell's going on, but Sam and others are just in here living it up and, you know, doing other crazy stuff. Okay? Crazy stuff. So it's also been rumored that they're all involved romantically. All right? So I don't know if this is true, but supposedly these guys, you know, they would have wild sex parties, or they're in a sex cult, or I don't know what the deal is with that. But, you know, what I do know is they've been living pretty good lifestyle in the last, you know, however many years in this $35 million mansion, right? So, yeah, he's not living, you know, living small. He's not just driving Corolla around. He's, you know, he's been doing pretty well for himself. He's been doing pretty well for himself. There's one more thing, and I don't really want to show this, but it's too big of a coincidence, and it has really nothing to do with how he blew the money with Alameda. But there's also this. Again, people, yeah, it's tough. So look at that symbol over there on the left side. That's Alameda Research, right? And then look at the right side. So the right side is a post from the FBI saying symbols and logos used by pedophiles to identify sexual preferences. And it's eerie to see how that triangle for Alameda Research looks like the triangles on the right side, right? Like, is this a coincidence? Is it real? Is it just FUD being spread out? I don't know. I didn't want to really show this, but I am, because today is FBF Day. You know, it's like, come on now. Okay, just a few other stuff. So FTX, of course, FTX.US. I warned you guys. FTX US yesterday said that, hey, get out, because we might be shutting down soon, right? So I warned you guys, FTX.US, if you're still in it, you want to get out right away, because they're already warning you. FTX also is causing all this FUD on for all these other exchanges, like Coinbase. People are wondering about Coinbase, right? But Coinbase seems like they're still in a good spot. Brian Armstrong said they have no exposure at all. So that's good. But, you know, he's also pushing for more regulations of crypto exchanges. I don't know if we welcome that or not. Maybe it is. Maybe we need some of it, right? To make sure that something like FTX doesn't happen again, that you can't just loan out customer assets like that. Okay? So maybe some of it is good, but, you know, the politicians, they tend to push very, very far. So let's hope that it doesn't get pushed too far. But there's also a lot of FUD around other exchanges. Like I'm on Twitter, I see a lot of people saying, you know what, Crypto.com and KuCoin, they're next. Pull all of your money out. The thing is, you know, if you cause so much FUD like that, you cause bank runs, well, then they can go down as well, right? But then again, on the other hand, you want to be safe with your crypto. You don't want to be locked up. So, you know, it's one of those things right now. It's better to be safe than sorry, and protect your own assets. But Crypto.com, you know, this proof of reserves that all these exchanges are are working on right now. They did reveal this. This is their first proof that how much assets they hold in total. This doesn't really prove like if they used any. I mean, we don't know how much people deposited. We just know this is how much they have, right? So if there's a discrepancy, I don't even know how we would be able to tell. But they hold about $3 billion worth of assets. And surprisingly, about 20% of that is in sheep. So that's a huge amount. Huge amount. More sheep than ETH on the platform. I don't know what that says, really. Maybe they just made a tremendous amount of profits in 2021 when SHIB was going up and everyone's buying in. I don't know. But this is what they revealed, but they're going to reveal more stuff. But again, I don't know what this means exactly. You know, if there's a discrepancy, let's say there was 3.5 billion deposited, and this is showing 3, we would never know, right? They need to actually prove like how much was deposited versus how much they have. That's the only way we could actually verify that. Also, KuCoin is saying that, you know what, there's a lot of FUD once again, right? They have no direct exposure to FTX, and they're working on a Merkle tree proof of reserves, which I believe will show how much is deposited and how much is there, right? So all these exchanges are working on it around the clock to make sure that bank runs don't happen with them. But there's a lot of rumors about KuCoin, Crypto.com, and Coinbase and Huobi and everything else, right? So these exchanges are all working very hard to prove that they didn't do anything wrong. They don't have exposure to FTX, right? Yeah, but you know, it makes you wonder who the 130 additional affiliate companies, who they are, because yeah, it could be also celebrities too. You know, like Tom Brady. You know, he may have his own company, right, that invested in. So a lot of it could be just their celebrity, you know, ambassadors and investors. Okay. So yeah, so that's everything. I told you guys. You guys are in for a treat, man. There's so much stuff being revealed every single day about FTX. None of it is good. In fact, it just brought Bitcoin down. You know, Bitcoin was holding at 17, right? Pressed against this trend line, and then boom, as soon as they declared bankruptcy, it brought it down to 16.8 again. I'm hopeful that we could see a recovery and head into this weekend in a positive manner. But, you know, there's just so much FUD about FTX at this point. Look at it. Like front page of CNBC. He steps down as CEO, right? Like when you see this, it just scares the bejesus out of everyone, right? No one wants to see that. And overshadows a lot of good stuff that's happening in this space. I mean, as for U.S. markets, we had a really good rally yesterday. I don't know if people noticed that the DXY is falling tremendously. This is terrific for everyone. When the DXY falls, money flows out and goes into equities and crypto. So this is terrific, but of course, overshadowed by what's going on, right? So that sucks. That sucks. As for Bitcoin is still tremendous buying opportunity right now, overshadowed by FTX. The RSI for Bitcoin drops to its weakest in history. That shows you how oversold it is, how much fear there is, and how good of opportunity it is to get into Bitcoin right now. You know, whenever, this is a good reminder, but whenever Bitcoin is declared dead or crypto is declared dead, that's usually when you want to buy, just like right now. If you're looking at some of these fear levels, it has never been higher, right? So the good thing is, though, HODL Wave, people that are holding 6+ month all-time high. So people that are in the space that are holding, they continue to hold. They continue to believe. They're unshattered by what's going on with FTX. Okay? But unfortunately for everyone else, they're scared and they're scared off. And it's causing a lot of down pressure. But besides the holders, look at the whales. The whales above 10,000 Bitcoin on the right-hand side. Look at how fast that's moving up. So I did mention about terrific buying opportunity, and a lot of whales are doing exactly that, using this opportunity to stock up more and more Bitcoin. And I'm not talking just a few Bitcoin. We're talking about 10,000 plus Bitcoins. So that's happening right in front of our eyes too. So unfortunately, FTX is overshadowing a lot of the good things going on right now. And I'm hoping we can get past it. Since they have declared bankruptcy, that means that there's no one that is looking to save them at this point, right? And maybe we could get past this sooner than expected. Although this new CEO, he may be finding some skeletons. Hopefully not. Hopefully not devastating ones. All right, that's pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. Could you provide a link to that video? Yeah, I'll post it. Where's that link? Here we go. I'll just post it in the chat for anyone that wants it. All right, let's see here. Captain Content is asking about Voyager. Yeah, I don't know. Unless Binance comes in and rescues them, they're done. No one's gonna get anything, I don't think. Yeah, it's wait. BlackRock will come out and protect them? I don't think so. I don't think BlackRock is going to touch them or save them in any way. Yeah, a lot of people still asking about Voyager. I don't know what's going to happen with Voyager. Like I said, unless Binance comes in and scoops them up, I don't know if anyone's going to be touching them and saving them. If banks can't engage in fractional reserve, why can't crypto platform? What's the difference? Well, the banks are protected by the Fed. That's the biggest difference. If a bank screws up, the Fed could come in and print more money and rescue them. But crypto, the Fed is not going to come and rescue crypto exchanges. That's the big difference. And banks have screwed up a lot before. In 2008, a lot of banks went under, right? But the Fed kind of sweeps it under a rug. But you don't have that, you know. If had Binance bought FTX and kind of saved them, right, then it would be kind of the equivalency, but Binance is smarter than that. Let's see here. Dr. Neil's World. George, you said, but he tied the last 6 months. Where's he getting all the money from? Yeah, you know, I always had my suspicions about that. I guess now we know from the users. Do I like Uniswap? I've used it on occasion. Seems like nothing wrong with it. If you're looking at DEXs, they are definitely the go-to DEX. They don't have everything, mostly just ERC20 pairs, right? If you want to trade other SPL tokens, that you need to go elsewhere. You want to trade Phantom tokens, you want to go elsewhere, right? So they're more ERC20 only. Think we will survive. I think BTC will prevail, of course. That's why we're all here. BTC will survive, except we just got rocked again with another project that did some shady things, and they're causing an effect on the rest of the market. Dan, FTX is the new Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah. Other than crypto, do you hold any other investments like stocks, bonds, real estate, precious metal? No, none. Just crypto. I'm seeing a lot of talk on Twitter, just from Storm Chasing video, about SBF being a huge political donor. No, I did talk about that. Yeah, he donated $40 million. One of the top guys. So he was definitely voting Democrat for sure. I don't know what that really means exactly. Nano. No. BlockFi. I mentioned about BlockFi last night. Unfortunately, they also, because they were preparing to be bought by FTX, and I guess they were being bankrolled by them, because yesterday they just said, we're shutting down withdrawals because we don't know what's going on with FTX. Very, very disappointing. And plus, this morning, you know, they send the email out saying, hey, if you've been using our credit cards, make sure you still pay. Like, it's like, if you're telling people that you're in trouble and you're shutting down and people can't take their crypto out, but then you're still expecting them to pay their credit cards, right? Do you really think they're going to do that? And I think they realize that. That's why they sent out that email, right? That's kind of ridiculous. So BlockFi, it seemed like they were in better shape than everyone else. They held on this long. They had withdrawals open this long, although they got rid of their interest-bearing accounts anyways. But it seemed like they were doing fine with just at least their credit cards. But now it seems like that's not the case. So I don't know. They're probably going to declare bankruptcy soon too. Raycap, I'm looking to buy in general right now. Do you think IOTA still have a shot? Yeah, because they've been transforming themselves. They're trying to. They came out their testnet chain. They're also moving to EVM compatibility. So they're still trying to adapt and grow. So they may have a bright future. Dan, also another question. Who develops for BTC? They're like the main core programmers. Who do we go to if there's a bug on a network? What happens if there's infinite mining like Luna? Even if the core developers say they want to do something fishy, the miners themselves have to adopt a new code. So that's the beauty of it. Even though it's open source and anyone could create another Bitcoin or try to, right? If the miners don't adopt a new code, then nothing gets implemented. So the core developers, they're checked by the miners as well. All right, I'm still trying to catch up here. Jokers, just stay strong on DC and BTC. Yep, and others. Guys, please get a ledger. I've been telling you guys, better safe than sorry. Learn how to safeguard your crypto. Get a ledger, okay? Or just get a mobile wallet at the very least, so that you can get your crypto off the exchanges. You don't have to take all of it out, just at least some, right? A lot of people's been hammered with a lot of these withdrawal seizures or withdrawal stoppages, right? My neighbor yesterday was just telling me that he had some on Celsius. I didn't know that. So he has his stuck on Celsius. And others have told me, like recently someone on live chat said, I have everything on FTX, so now I'm quitting crypto. So don't be like that, you know? Learn how to safeguard your own crypto. Is the FTX crash going to threaten BTC's chance at 100K during the next halving? No, because we will get through this, just like we got through Luna and Celsius and Voyager. So we will get through it, Eduardo. And Dan is, Do Kwon doesn't have to be worried about being the most hated man on the internet. Yeah, Sam Sam basically took all the heat from Do Kwon now. Atomic Wallet should be safe. I've never used it before. Spaceboy says Binance is in trouble. I think they will investigate Binance as well. I don't think so. I don't think they're in trouble. The Department of Justice already asked Binance for their opinion because they know Binance looked at FTX books. So Binance is, I don't know, from CZ's actions, it's pretty clear that CZ operates differently, a lot more calculated, and a lot smarter how a multi-billion-dollar company should operate, right? I was just thinking yesterday, I was taking a walk and just thinking about what's been happening with FTX. You know, from their big splash, like big marketing splash, like buying the arena rights, buying rights to a lot of teams, to the celebrity endorsements, getting like Steph Curry involved, Shaq involved, getting ambassadors like Tom Brady involved, and Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary, right? Just think about everything they've been doing, and now trying to throw money around to buy all these other companies, trying to look like they're above it all and they're a savior, right? And you look at everything else that has happened before with all the investments they've been throwing around, especially in Solana and Solana-based projects, right? You just look at everything. SBF just operated really reckless, if you think about it. Like, basically someone that thinks he has infinite amount of money and he could just do whatever he wants. You look at CZ, it's like completely different. CZ of Binance. Binance is so much bigger, has way more money, right? But you don't see him do that. You don't see Binance going around buying stadium rights. You don't see them trying to get Kevin O'Leary to be ambassador, right? You don't even see Binance buy Super Bowl ads. Let's not forget, FTX paid for a huge Super Bowl ad, right, with Larry David, right? Stuff like that. You don't see Binance acting reckless with their money. With FTX, it's been so reckless over the last 2 years. So that's why, that's why I don't think Binance is in danger, not like, not like FTX. Dan, why do so many people put their life savings into things? Maybe because you need to have more risk to get higher returns. Yeah, that's true. Obviously, if younger people can risk more than older people, right? But a lot of young people want to strike it rich, so they go all in. Sometimes it works. You hear about like some people becoming instant millionaires, right? Some people, they lose it all. You don't hear about that as much. But you got to judge where your life is. Risk assessment is important, right? And determine how much you could actually really invest. You should never invest more than what you could lose, what you're willing to lose, or what you can lose. You should never buy crypto on debt. You should never buy crypto on debt. You should never buy crypto on a credit card or an equity loan, or I would argue even even loans, like even crypto loans. Putting down your collateral and then borrowing against that to buy, that's a no-no too. So Axie, which ledger wallet would you recommend? X or S plus? They're both great. X has Bluetooth, which for some people they don't like, because then it's not really, because you could forget and leave your Bluetooth on, so it's not really pure cold wallet. It's like almost there. So Nano S Plus doesn't have Bluetooth, so most, I would think, prefers S Plus over the X because of that. Yeah, there's also rumors about Gary Gensler of SEC working with SBF. There's just like this big circle of stuff. Like supposedly Caroline's dad is a professor at MIT who was the mentor and boss of Gary Gensler. And then that's why that's why he has a close relationship with SBF. You know, it's all coming to light. People are like really connecting the dots. I'm guessing that Tom Brady would like to reinflate his footballs. If the U.S. triggers a recession with higher interest rate, would that trigger a war with China? Not happy, paying for more. Dan, that doesn't really make much sense. No, I'm gonna say no to based on what you're saying. No Santa rally then? No, it's still early. It's only the second week of November. Could still happen. Fees on cold wallets are insane. I transfer 3 links just to try the deposit 1.7 link. Yeah, sometimes it's more. You know, that's one of the things you have to get used to. Paying gas fees. A lot of exchanges will cover that for you, but if you're sending it yourself on chain, it may seem more expensive. That's why usually if I'm sending, I send a larger amount. But you know, and when you're first sending, always test it out first, then send the actual amount, right? Just to be sure, so you don't have the wallet address wrong or something like that. Zach, I already said that. You know, there's talks about, yeah, what's been happening in that $35 million mansion, right? Are they all romantically involved? Instead, I mean, that's really, you know, that's really outside of this. Okay, that really doesn't. That probably had nothing to do with this. Based on history, how long to shake off FTX? I would say it's a few months. It took a few months to shake off Luna, but unfortunately, the repercussions took even longer because we didn't know about some of the other effects like HODL and Celsius and Voyager. You know, they didn't come all at once. Way too much leverage in the market is going to unwind. So yeah, that's I think that's accurate. So unfortunately, Bitcoin is now stuck around 17,000 because of all this. I mean, man, just to think, we were at 21,000 heading higher without all this FTX nonsense. Maybe with yesterday's market rally, we could have seen 25,000. And if you think about it, if Luna, Celsius, Voyager didn't happen, HODL didn't happen back in May, who knows how high we would be? Maybe we're at like 35,000, 40,000, right? But, you know, This is what happens when things start correcting. They always do when we have corrections. You know, the mistakes that these companies made comes to light, and a lot of them just go under. So the best way to think about it is, yes, short-term sucks. Long-term, this is weeding out the bad decisions, the bad companies, the bad actors, and what we're left with are the good ones and the long-term holders that will continue to believe and hold on DCA, right? That's the best way to think about it. Dan, I don't know. You tell me. You go ask some girls and you tell me. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Basically, man, more and more stuff about FTX, SBF, Caroline, Alameda, their $35 million mansion, what may be going on in that mansion, and other things that's happening, okay? Quite honestly, it sucks, but like I said, think about it. We're weeding out the bad, leaving the good, and long term, this is better for the entire industry. So stay strong, my friends. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Take care. Bye-bye.